This is the Demystifying Crypto and Building Wealth podcast.
I knew that would be worth trillions.
That had never existed in human history.
There's been massive opportunities.
The #1 podcast to help you understand and get insights into the crypto world, blockchain technology, wealth building, and financial investing. Now, here's your host, Tiwari, the world's #1 most trusted cryptocurrency analyst and Wall Street veteran with decades of experience in the financial space.
This coming Monday, January 20th, President-elect Donald Trump will put his hand on the Bible and officially begin his second term as the 47th President of the United States. And according to Tiwari, shortly after that inauguration, President Trump will sign the first ever crypto executive order, triggering the biggest wealth creation event in the history of cryptos. This is your chance to turn a handful of $1,000 investments into what Tika calls your freedom number. That, of course, is the amount of money that you need to get the life that you want. Enough money to do what you want, when you want, with whomever you want. But Tika also has a new warning. He says traditional methods of investing will not work in this new bull market. And that's why he spent the last few months developing an entirely new strategy that could help you reach your freedom number faster than you ever thought possible, all while reducing your risk. It is a new way of making money from cryptos that's vastly different than anything he's ever recommended before. And after picking 27 coins that had peak gains of more than 1,000%, and after being voted the #1 most trusted crypto expert by a panel of 130,000 independent analysts, Tika is for the first time ever going public with what could be his most explosive strategy yet. I want you to pay close attention because he'll also discuss his top 3 crypto trades for this coming Trump boom and explain why you must act before January 20th. Now, if you miss this, you'll probably never see an opportunity like this again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Freedom 2025. I'm John Burke, and I'll be your host for Tiwari's first briefing of the year, and it is a good one. We're here tonight because Tika believes that thanks to President Trump's election, 2025 could be the biggest wealth-building year of your life. And with Trump's inauguration quickly approaching, we have no time to waste. Tika is joining us remotely. Now, unfortunately, he couldn't join us in the studio here in Florida because, well, he's playing hurt. He's been very sick. Tika, I certainly hope that you're feeling better, my friend. How are you doing?
John, I've certainly had better days, but it is brightening my day to see you. I really wish I could be there in the studio with you today, but here's a long story short. I got a terrible bacterial infection, terrible fever. It caused me to pass out, and the reason why I'm wearing this neck brace is when I fell, I hit my head and I fractured my neck, which is why I have to wear this brace. I am grateful in the sense that it could have been far, far, far worse. It's not been a great time for me and my family. I even thought about canceling this strategy session, but the stakes are too high. The timing is just too important for me to put this off. And for me, John, I got to put my readers first. Because in my opinion, we are dealing with a situation so urgent and so special that I know we will never see an opportunity like this again. So friends, please forgive me for the way I look. If I'm a little slower than normal, also please forgive me for that. I want to thank you for being here today because I believe we're just moments away from a seismic shift in the crypto market. I believe this will be the biggest game changer in the history of crypto. And of course, I'm talking about the inauguration of America's first ever pro-crypto president, President Donald Trump.
Well, Tika, I got to say, you are a wounded warrior, but it speaks a lot to your passion about this message that you have and about the people that we're speaking to tonight. So I'm so glad that you're able to join us remotely. I can't wait to hear what you had to say because, you predicted everything that's happened over the past couple of months. You really did. Folks, I want to take you back to October 30th, 2024. Now, that was a week before the presidential election. Now, at that time, most of the media was telling you that the election was too close to call. They said it was impossible to predict who would win. Even professional pollsters were saying that it was a 50-50 race. But my friend here, Tiwari, is never afraid to put his career on the line and make bold predictions. So he went on camera and he predicted not only that President Trump would win the election, but that it would also trigger a massive crypto boom. As a matter of fact, we actually have a short clip of that right here. Let's take a look.
Right now, everything is pointing to a win for President Trump. And I believe that is going to trigger a boom of biblical proportions. President Trump is set to be the most pro-crypto president we've ever had. That means for the first time ever, we're getting the full power of the U.S. government behind cryptos. Think about that. The most powerful financial force in the world will go from anti-crypto to pro-crypto. That's huge.
You know, Tika, back in October, you also predicted that the biggest gains wouldn't come from Bitcoin. It would come from much smaller coins that most people don't even know about. And you were right as rain as usual. You were spot on, because immediately after President Trump's election, Bitcoin began a historic rally, crossing above $100,000 for the first time ever. That was a quick 50% move. But some of these smaller coins that you like to recommend jumped much, much higher. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at some of the best performing coins. For example, just within the first month of President Trump's election, IOTA jumped 355%, Ripple 430%, Stellar almost 500%, Hedera climbed almost 700%, and a meme coin called Peanut the Squirrel. Now, it sounds funny, but it skyrocketed by a mind-blowing 1,012%. All these gains happened in just 1 month. I mean, it really is mind-blowing what's happening in the crypto market. There was so much energy. And Tika, I got to say, you saw it all coming from a mile away. And you know what, Tika, do you know what's really shocking about all this?
Tell me, John.
Well, what's really shocking to me is that I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, I really shouldn't be surprised that you were right once again, because when it comes to cryptos, you have made the right market calls over and over and over again. You predicted the crypto winter of 2018, and you helped your readers take profits of up to 11,318% right before that crash. Then after the crash, you helped them get back in and gave them a chance to see gains as high as 3,955% in Ethereum, more than 12,000% in Cardano, and almost 13,000% in Binance, just to name a few. Then, in early 2023, after a brutal correction in Bitcoin, you told your readers to buy Bitcoin if it dropped below $20,000. Now, I don't know how you did this, my friend. I don't know, but that was the exact bottom of the market. That same day, Bitcoin dropped briefly under $20,000, and that was the bottom. It took off. It never looked back. It went up almost 400% since then. And of course, we will likely never see Bitcoin at that low price ever again. So Tika, I gotta say, I'm really happy for your readers. I'm happy that you got one more prediction right with this Trump boom. But that begs my first question here. Would you say, isn't it too late to get on board this Trump train? I don't know, Tika, but it just feels like some of these coins may have already moved too much.
It certainly does feel like we are too late, right?
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that it feels like President Trump's win is already priced in, and that anyone who didn't listen to you back in October kind of missed the boat.
Yeah, you know, I can't blame you if you're thinking that, or friends if you're at home thinking that as well. And let me be very clear, John, under normal circumstances, I'd agree with you. I'd say, look, you know, you buy the rumor, you sell the news, it's too late. But these are not normal circumstances. And something I've been very good at is knowing when circumstances are not normal. You see, with President Trump now heading to the White House, we're as far away from a normal environment as we've ever been. So to answer your question, it's not too late. In fact, this reminds me almost to a T of what happened during President Trump's first term. Now, the difference was at that time, he was not a fan of Bitcoin. But as soon as he took office, he signed a series of executive orders to roll back regulation in the U.S. financial system. And that helped trigger a boom in the crypto market. In fact, shortly after his election, coins like Monero jumped as high as 221% in less than 2 months. So, John, if I told you at that moment to buy Monero after that big move, but before his inauguration in 2017, what would you have said to me? You'd probably say, T, it's up, 200%. How can I buy it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, after a 200% jump, yeah, to me, that looks like it's definitely too late.
Right. Conventional wisdom tells you that you should never invest in anything that has gone up that much in such a short period of time. Here's the difference. I knew this was just the beginning of what was going to be a massive bull run in this asset class. So I was recommending Monero to my readers for that entire period of time, even after it leaped 200%. Now take a look at what happened after President Trump's inauguration. Monero went much, much, much higher. John, 3,731% in less than 12 months. That is 37 times your money.
And that is point made. So what you're saying is that the coin was just warming up with that 200% move.
That's all it was. It was a prologue. It was saying, hey, we're getting ready to move a lot higher. And anyone who thought it was too late, again, they missed out on the chance to make more than 37 times their money in under a year. Now, the same was true for Ethereum. Shortly after President Trump's election, it jumped 65% in less than a month. Now, at the time, everybody thought it was too late to get in. I didn't, and I'm sure some of my readers thought I was crazy for still holding Ethereum as a buy after such a big run. But look what happened. After the president's inauguration, Ethereum went on to jump an additional 13,256%. That's 132 times your money, John. Take a look at NEO. It jumped almost 60% in just 2 weeks in December, right before President Trump's inauguration. 60%. But I was still hammering the table, telling my readers to keep buying NEO. You know what happened after the inauguration? It skyrocketed a mind-boggling 169,000% in less than 12 months. So, John, anyone who thought it was too late to get in, that was using that conventional thinking, they missed out on a chance to turn just $1,000 into almost 1.7 million.
My gosh. So thinking it was too late was a huge mistake.
It was a life-changing mistake, because these kind of bull markets don't come around every day. So you essentially, when you engage in conventional thinking without understanding the asset class and what drives this particular asset class, you essentially pass on the chance to become a millionaire in less than 12 months, starting with a tiny stake of $1,000.
Well, see, as I said before, I think you made your point. I mean, I'm sure nobody here wants to make that same mistake again. I certainly don't. So just to be clear, you believe that we're about to see something similar with President Trump's second term, don't you?
No, I don't. What I believe is that we will see something much, much, much more extreme than what we saw in 2017. And here's why I say that. Remember, during President Trump's first term, he hated Bitcoin, hated crypto. Check out this tweet from 2019. He said Bitcoin was based on thin air and was just good for buying drugs. Now, compare that to his most recent post on Truth Social when Bitcoin crossed $100,000. He congratulated Bitcoiners. He even took credit for helping send Bitcoin to an all-time new high.
Yeah, it is a complete 180, isn't it? I mean, he went from being a Bitcoin hater to one of the biggest proponents of Bitcoin, really.
He went from being one of the biggest Bitcoin haters to now being all in on crypto. John, I want you to think about this. This is truly an extraordinary situation we'll never see again, and it is why I had to be here. Because like I mentioned back in October of last year, President Trump will be the first ever pro-crypto president. You can only have a first-time pro-crypto president one time, right? Just by the very nature of it. So he will govern as the first ever pro-crypto president over the first ever pro-crypto Congress. He surrounded himself with pro-crypto advisors and crypto enthusiasts like Elon Musk, Vice President J.D. Vance. This is a game changer because for the first time ever in the history of this asset, we have the full power of the US government, the most powerful government and financial force the world has ever seen in human history, now on our side. That's why his election has already triggered this, I call it a pre-boom. It's exactly what I predicted took place. But here's the thing. President Trump winning the election is not the full story. And most people are missing the bigger piece of this puzzle that is going to cause an unprecedented explosion in value above and beyond what we saw back in 17.
That is fascinating to me because I think that at this point, Tika, everyone understands that President Trump is great for crypto, but what are we missing here then, Tika?
Well, few people understand how fast this seismic shift is going to happen. They think, it'll happen, but sometime in the future. You see, during his campaign, President Trump promised he would do whatever it takes to make America, and I quote, the world's Bitcoin superpower. But a lot of people don't believe him. They still have doubts in the back of their mind. Will President Trump really keep all of his crypto promises? Will his enemies actually let him implement his plans? Will Congress even support him? We'll only know for sure when he gets into office, and I believe we will get that answer very quickly on January 20th, and it will be a game changer. Because with the stroke of a pen, President Trump will erase any doubts anyone has anywhere in the world, and it will happen in an instant. You see, I believe it could be as early as day one. I believe President Trump will sign the first ever crypto executive order, creating a rare window for everyday folks to turn a handful of $1,000 investments into their freedom number and to potentially do it within 12 months.
Wow. So what you're saying is we're not even going to have to wait for new laws or for Congress to act or something. You're predicting he's going to do that on Inauguration Day?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And again, not to belabor the point, John, it's why I had to be here, because January 20th is around the corner. If I had to give this webinar from my bed, I would have done that. That's how important this is, because we are just moments away from the biggest crypto catalyst to ever sweep across this industry. I believe this could be bigger than all the Bitcoin halvings combined. It will be bigger than the approval of Bitcoin ETFs. It will be even bigger than what happened during President Trump's first term. Again, I'm talking about that massive bull run of 2017 that gave my readers the chance to transform their lives. They had the ability to take $1,000 and turn it into as much as $367,000 in Binance, as much as $543,000 in Ethereum, and over 1.5 million in Neo. And that all starts the moment President Trump signs that executive order.
You know, Tika, I can hear the excitement in your voice. And then when you layer it with all the data, I start getting really excited. What exactly will that executive order do? What is so special about it?
I promise, John, I will explain everything in just a moment. What I want to do here tonight is I want to give everyone here my entire blueprint for how I think President Trump's inauguration is going to play out. But right now, I want everyone to pay very special attention to what I'm about to say. Friends, this is the critical part that I want you to fully understand. If you only take one thing from tonight's event, please take this. If you want to reach your freedom number in 2025, you can't just buy and hold any coin out there, because this is going to be different from bull runs that we've seen in the past. It's not going to be like a typical bull run. I believe that once President Trump signs that executive order, we're going to see levels of hype and FOMO like we have never seen before. Friends, I'm talking about a buying frenzy that will make your brain melt. I believe we're going to see dozens of coins jumping 100, 200, 300% or more like this. The moves will be breathtaking. Once President Trump signs that executive order, the dam will break and an ocean of money is going to flood into crypto. I believe historians will mark January 20th as the beginning of the wildest bull market ever in any market in the world. with the fastest moves we've ever seen in any market. Going back to, you can go all the way back to ancient Babylon if you want. There will never be a market like what's about to be unleashed in front of us. But here, friends, is the critical part that I want you to understand, the bit that nobody will tell you. The moves in the majority of these coins, 99% of these coins, will be temporary. Let me repeat that. The moves will be temporary. They are not going to be long lasting. I predict that this President Trump bump hype will last probably no more than 12 months. In other words, I believe you'll only have this 12-month window to reach your freedom number. And because of the unusual nature of these moves, you cannot use traditional methods of investing in crypto like buying and holding. It's not the way to make the most amount of money. Once President Trump signs that executive order and that hype train begins, we're going to see waves of money just bounce through the market at a pace that we have never seen before. And we are going to see a constant rotation of that money from theme to theme to theme to theme, from coin to coin to coin to coin. Every week, every 2 weeks, you will see a new and different coin leading the market. It will be a frenzy. And friends, the key for you to reach your freedom number is you must be able to rotate your money as well. So you're always targeting the fastest moving coins out there.
Okay, I want to be clear on this because this is a really important point here. Are you saying a buy and hold approach isn't going to work in this new Trump bull market?
No, in my opinion, no. If you're exclusively doing buy and hold, if you want to have the highest probability of reaching your freedom number within the next 12 months, you need to have a way of dynamically riding these waves of hype and money that will be flowing through the market. You see, if you buy a coin right before this wave comes in, yes, you'll watch the coin jump a lot higher. But once the rotation begins and the money moves on to the next coin or the next sector, you'll watch the coin collapse just like that. It might go up 500% and then collapse 90%. You give back all your gains and you walk away with nothing. John, look, I'm sure you've had this experience, right? You make a ton of money in crypto on paper only to give it all back later on, right?
Tika, it's happened more often than I even want to admit to you.
Look, we've been there, I've been there. It's probably been the biggest complaint that I've had. Hey, T, we've given up a lot of gains here. Is there a way for us not to do that? The answer is yes. Now, specifically in this type of market action, I expect this type of price action, this kind of boom and bust price action for 99% of the coins out there. And it's going to happen at a level that we've never seen before. And that's why I knew, John, I had to create something completely different in order to put my readers in front of these fast moves so they're not just seeing these coins go up and then giving back all the gains. Ever since I realized President Trump was going to win and trigger this boom, I've been working on a very special project to find the best strategy to capture these short, explosive moves. Now, I didn't know for sure if this project was going to lead anywhere, but friends, I believe I found it, and I found it in the most unlikely of places. This is a method that has been used by a group of rogue traders who became some of the best traders on the planet. For decades, these traders have been making money hand over fist in any kind of market environment. But most people never heard of them because they don't follow traditional methods of investing or even of trading. For example, one of these traders is named Michael Marcus. He was able to double the size of his investment account every year. Year after year after year. Imagine if you can do the same with your retirement account, taking it from 50,000 to 100,000 in 1 year, then 100,000 to 200,000 the next year, 200,000 to 400,000 the following year, and so on. This is exactly what Michael Marcus did. And that's how he turned a small stake of $30,000 into more than $10.1 million in a decade. That beats the average annual returns of the stock market by almost 130 times, which is mind-blowing. Another one of these traders called Kevin Bruce, he started with just $5,000 when he was in his early 20s. By the time he was 30, he was already a millionaire. Today, he's worth more than $100 million. Another guy, Ed Sequoia, used the same method to turn $5,000 into $15 million over 12 years. That's an incredible return, 266,000%. Look, Warren Buffett, considered the best investor ever, has never had that kind of performance, not even close. So John, despite all these success stories, you've probably never even heard of any of these names of these traders, have you?
No, I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, these results are phenomenal, but you're right, I've never heard of any of those names.
Yeah, most people haven't, but all of these traders I just mentioned were featured in a book called Market Wizards, which discusses some of the best traders of all time and how they made their fortunes.
And Tika, they all use this same trading approach that you're going to be discussing here today?
Well, it's not exactly the same because I don't think these people are crypto traders, but if I had to guess, they probably don't know anything about cryptos. They made their fortunes well before Bitcoin was even invented. They were only using this method to trade stocks and commodities. So when I saw the results, I thought to myself, my goodness, these people are making millions with stocks and commodities. Can you imagine what this strategy could do in the crypto market, which is by far the fastest moving asset certainly I've ever traded? So what I did was I started working on a secret project to try to adapt this strategy to the crypto markets. And that's what I've been doing for months. I even hired a seasoned trader who specializes in this method of trading to help me with this project. And now he's a pro who's already made six-figure profits applying this method in the crypto and stock markets for himself.
So I just want to ask you this. He has personally tested this method with his own money?
He has. So after weeks of testing the strategy and after seeing his results, I'm ready to share this new strategy with all of my readers today because I believe this will be the #1 strategy for this new President Trump crypto boom. And the beauty here is that our crypto version of this strategy just couldn't be any easier to use. So I want to give you a sneak peek right now. There should be some charts coming up. John, take a look. We call it the crypto cloud stream because all you have to do is buy the coin when that cloud you see in the chart streams from red to green. That simple change of color indicates the coin is ready to take off. It couldn't be any easier. Had you bought these coins when the cloud streamed to green, you could have turned $1,000 into as much as $25,000 in 10 weeks, more than $125,000 in just 6 months, and almost $300,000 in 10 months.
Tika, let me tell you why I find this so fascinating for me personally, because this sounds really different from what you normally do. I mean, look, we've done countless events like this. We've discussed so many strategies, so many ways to profit from crypto. I don't recall you ever saying anything about a crypto cloud stream. Instead, you always focused on finding coins that have long-term value. You buy and hold them for the long run with the expectation that adoption will increase. But this is different. This sounds like a new way of making money from cryptos.
Well, we're entering a new market, and a new market needs a complementary approach. And you are correct. This is completely different from anything I've done in my career in cryptos. It's a much more fast-paced approach than buying and holding coins that have long-term value. So friends, I have to warn you, this approach, it's not for everybody. This is for big boys and big girls only, because my crypto cloud stream was designed to target coins that can move 50%, 100%, even 200% in a single week. It doesn't matter what the underlying coin does. We're not looking at that. We're looking at, can it move quickly? So look, if you can't deal with those kinds of big moves that are happening very quickly, if that's too much for you, if it's overwhelming, if you feel like those fast moves could give you a heart attack, I get it. This will not be for everyone. Now look, are we going to win on every trade? No, of course not. There's no such thing as a holy grail. Certainly not in financial markets. And anybody who tells you that they have found a strategy that works 100% of the time, they're either lying to you or they're lying to themselves. what I'm saying is that the only method I have found that can allow you to rotate your money into the fastest moving coins out there and do it over and over and over again. And that's going to be critical for hitting your freedom number during this Trump boom crypto cycle. Then it is this approach. If you can follow this cloud streaming strategy, I believe that you will have a shot at reaching your freedom number and potentially being able to do it over the next 12 months. And that is what is at stake here tonight. Freedom. I know that freedom means different things to different people. For some, if freedom is, look, I want to own a new car every 3 years. For others, it's, I want to spend time doing volunteer work in my church or in my community. For others, it's having an offshore capable fishing rig, but actually having the time to actually use it. You know, when I was younger, for me, it was really simple, John. Freedom was having enough money so that I could own my car for cash instead of having to make a car payment. That was it, right? Maybe a little more. It was having enough money that I could buy the higher quality diapers for my daughter instead of the budget brand that left my daughter's tushy sore with diaper rash. John, I remember when money was so tight when I was younger, I was chronically late on my car payments. I was always afraid of the car being repoed. I remember I parked the car late at night, 5 streets over from my 3rd floor walk-up rental, praying that the car would still be there where I left it in the morning. Nobody deserves that kind of stress. I mean, it eats you up alive. Now look, since then, yeah, my life and my dreams, they've changed dramatically. All my cars are bought and paid for. All my children's cars are bought and paid for. My children's college, housing costs, completely paid for. My granddaughter's college is already fully funded. Today, I live in a beautiful home. I live in the Caribbean. I overlook the ocean. I sail on my 50-foot, red-hulled catamaran. My life is completely transformed. And it was crypto that was the vehicle that got me there. Friends, I can tell you from personal experience that once you hit that freedom number, everything changes. Because now you can live the life that you want instead of the life that has been forced upon you. And I want everybody watching here to have that same experience, that same feeling. So I want you to really, really think about that. Because no matter what your freedom number is, I believe this new Trump bull market can help you get there, maybe even by the end of this year. And you'll be able to do it without putting what you've already built at risk. So John, here's my plan for the rest of the night. For the first time ever, I'm going to reveal all the details of my new crypto cloud stream approach because it's already flashing a buy signal on 3 coins for this new bull market. I'll discuss those coins in just a moment. I'll also reveal what I'm expecting President Trump to do on Inauguration Day. And I'll also explain why it's critical to buy these coins I'm recommending before President Trump signs that executive order. I'll also give away the name of a coin that I believe could be among the best performing coins during President Trump's second term. Does that sound like a good deal, a good plan to you, John?
Yeah, in my world, that's a good plan. That's a good idea. This just keeps getting better. It all sounds fantastic. And you know what's interesting? When you were talking about the freedom number, I was actually thinking to myself, I have that number in mind. I have my freedom number in mind. I know exactly what I need to get the life that I want. So, folks, I want to ask you a favor. You see that box on your right? Well, that's where you can type in any questions that you have for Tika. And later on in the broadcast, we're going to have a Q&A where Tika will try to answer as many questions as possible. But right now, if you don't mind, I want you to type in that box, what's your freedom number? And don't worry, this is completely private. Tika and I are the only ones who are going to see this. But I want you to type that number in there because Tika said that he's going to show you how it's possible to reach that number. Now, I'm not exactly sure how he's going to back that up, but knowing him, he will. And we're going to get to all the details. And you know what? As a matter of fact, let's do that right now. Tika, I want to start with your new strategy. How does this crypto cloud stream work? What is behind these clouds, and why do you believe this will be the best strategy for this coming Trump boom?
These are all great questions, John. So let me show you some examples from President Trump's first term. Because my team and I ran some historical examples when we were testing this approach. We wanted to make sure that it's ready for prime time. So there should be some charts coming up on the screen right now. And remember, John, this strategy is all about betting on the fastest horse, regardless of what the coin does. We don't even look at what the coin does. So let's look at what happened with Stellar during President Trump's first year in office. In September of that year, the entire crypto market started to go nuts. Look at this. At one point in mid-October, Stellar was already up 280%. That was more than 5 times higher than Bitcoin, which was up 50% during that same period.
That's amazing. It was rising much, much, much faster than Bitcoin was.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin was kind of like the Prius and Stellar was the Ferrari. It was one of the fastest moving coins at the time. And it's a big reason why our cloudstream would have triggered a buy. Take a look. John, can you see how the cloud streamed from red to green in mid-October of 2017?
Yeah, I can see that. And that change of color, that happens automatically?
Happens like that. And that simple change of color tells you the coin is gaining incredible momentum. So if you, what you want to do is you want to buy it because that's a sign it's about to skyrocket. So take a look at what happened. The cloud streams from red to green. You put $1,000 when the cloud goes from red to green. You could have cashed out with more than $25,000 about 10 weeks later. 25 times your money, John, in what, 2.5 months?
Yeah, 2.5 months. I mean, you weren't joking when you said this is much faster pace than buying and holding the coin for years. So let me ask you this. You're not expecting to be holding these coins for what, more than a few weeks?
Yeah, it really depends exclusively on the price action. Some trades could be a few days, other could last a little longer, several weeks, maybe even a couple of months. The point is, you remain in the trade as long as the coin is one of the fastest ones in the market. Let me show you another example with Ripple. Shortly after President Trump's inauguration in 2017, the coin began to move faster than Bitcoin. You can see that here. At one point in mid-March, it was already up 90%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin was essentially flat. That was a big reason why the cloud streamed from red to green. Take a look. This was a sign that the coin was about to take off. It's exactly what happened. If all you had done, you said, okay, we've gone from red to green, I'm putting $1,000 into it. You could have cashed out with almost $300,000, John. And it wouldn't have taken you decades. It wouldn't have taken you years. It would have taken you about 10 months.
And you know what, Tika? I mean, that is a retirement nest egg for some people. Folks, even if that's not your freedom number, $300,000 in 10 months will get you a lot closer to whatever that number is, don't you think, Tika?
Yeah, $300,000 in the bond market is like an extra $12,000 to $14,000 a year in income on top of whatever Social Security you're getting. I mean, it's a game changer.
Exactly. And it's fascinating because, you know, Tika, I was looking at that chart and I noticed this, that the coin spent a few months actually moving sideways, but the cloud, it stayed green. So you want to stay in the trade as long as the cloud is green, right?
Correct. Because if the cloud is still green, it means that there is more potential upside ahead and it's still outperforming other coins. It means the coin is still moving faster than most coins out there. Let's take a look at NEO, which was the fastest coin I've ever recommended in my career. Again, shortly after President Trump's inauguration in 2017, the coin began to move much faster than Bitcoin. In the month of March alone, it was up 73%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin was actually down that month. So early in April, the cloud streamed from red to green, as you can see here. And John, by now you should know what that means.
Oh yeah, it means that coin is going parabolic.
Great, exactly. Remember, that coin had just started to move much faster than Bitcoin. So this was a sign that it was time to get in. It was time to bet on the fastest horse. So take a look. We go from red to green. You put $1,000 into the coin, it would have turned into over $1 million. Not in decades, not in years, in about 10 months.
Unbelievable. You know, Tika, most people, they spend their entire lives, they're saving money, they're being responsible, they're doing everything that they tell you to do, and they never even get close to $1 million. And here you have one coin that did it in just 10 months, starting, by the way, with just $1,000. I mean, that's insane. I'm sure that $1 million is the freedom number for a lot of people watching here tonight, you know?
Yeah, again, that's $40,000 a year in income if you just throw it in bonds. It's a game changer. And this is why, John, this is why when I said earlier that your freedom is at stake tonight, because these types of windows of opportunities, they don't happen very often. So look, if $1 million is your freedom number, you could have bought your freedom from $1,000 investment. Again, if your freedom number is higher than $1 million, making that kind of money in less than a year just puts you that much closer to your goals faster than any other asset can do for you on the planet. And again, here's the key. You didn't have to put your current lifestyle at risk to put yourself in a position, change your lifestyle forever. Now, I need to make a very important point. Can I guarantee that the coins I'll be recommending today are going to make you a millionaire in 10 months? No, I can't make that guarantee. The same way I could not make that guarantee on those gains when I actually recommended NEO back to my readers back in 2017. I couldn't make any guarantees then either.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone understands that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to the markets.
Right. What I am saying is that this crypto cloud stream approach is the best way I've discovered to find the fastest moving coins in the market. So you can potentially compound your wealth much faster than you have ever imagined or done so in the past. So using this cloud strategy during President Trump's first term, you could have turned $1,000 into more than $120,000 in Ethereum in 11 months, into more than $125,000 in Doge in just 6 months, into almost $130,000 in Dash in less than a year. There were dozens of opportunities like this during President Trump's first term. And this time, I'm expecting even more because, like I said earlier, President Trump has gone from hating crypto to being all in on crypto. And I believe he's moments away from signing America's first ever crypto executive order. John, I believe historians will look back across time and mark this executive order as the biggest catalyst ever for wealth creation in the crypto market. There will be 2 periods in the crypto market, one before the executive order, one after. And that's why I'm urging everyone to act now before January 20th.
It is exciting, and I do want to say that we're going to get to that executive order in just a moment. We'll talk all about it. Tika, I know that in just a moment that you want to give away the name of that coin that you believe could be one of the best performing coins during President Trump's second term. I think you mentioned it could be the next $1 trillion coin. Am I right?
Correct. You see, President Trump has just appointed former PayPal executive David Sachs as his crypto czar. He's going to advise him in all matters to do with crypto. Now, David Sachs has already invested his own money in this coin that I'm going to mention tonight and give away for free. He calls it the next Ethereum. So I'll give away the name of that coin tonight because I believe, it has massive upside potential.
That's good stuff right there, folks. That is coming up in just a moment. And of course, we're also going to have our Q&A a little bit later on in our broadcast. But Tika, right now, I have a follow-up question for you because there's something I still don't understand about all this. I get that this crypto cloud stream can help you pick the fastest moving coins out there. I get that. But you said earlier that these moves will not last. You said that they'll be temporary for 99% of the coins out there. So if these moves are temporary, how do you know when to get out?
Yeah, you're asking all the right questions, John, because that's where you make the money. It's not about watching the coin go to the moon and then you don't take your money out. It's when you sell and you turn that profit into cold, hard cash and you close the trade. And that's where this cloud strategy really shines, because all you have to do is you wait for the cloud to stream from green to red. Once it goes red, that's your sell signal.
Okay, hold on here. I just want to be clear because it sounds so simple. So you buy when the cloud stream is green and you sell when it turns red. I mean, that's it?
That's it. I mean, look, of course, there's a powerful mathematical process behind this cloud, but on the surface, yes, it's as simple as that. I'm going to show you how this works. There should be a chart coming up. This is the chart of Litecoin. It goes back to 2017. Shortly after President Trump's inauguration, the crypto cloud streamed to green. That was the buy signal. Remember, you want to buy the coin and you hold it until the cloud turns red. Now, like I said before, this could happen in a few weeks. It might take a few months even. But what you do, all you have to do is you wait until it turns red. Because as long as the cloud is streaming green, it means the coin still has momentum, which means more potential upside, which means more potential money for you. Now you can see here, that this cloud didn't turn red until about 12 months later. So you could have taken $1,000 when it went green, and by the time it turned red, you'd have cashed out with $45,000.
I can't tell you how much I love that simplicity. I can't tell you that enough. You buy when it streams to green, you sell when it's red. But let me ask you this. Wouldn't you make more money if you just hold on to the coin for the long term? I mean, what if the coin keeps going up?
Well, John, remember, once President Trump signs that executive order, I believe these coins will explode higher. But for 99% of those coins, those moves, I'm telling you right now, they are not going to last. Now, how do I know? Because this ain't my first rodeo, John. This is exactly what happened during President Trump's first term. For example, take a look at what happened to Litecoin. Had you held on to it, you'd have given back most of those capital gains.
Yeah, that coin, it went down just as fast as it went up.
Right, so let's compare the crypto cloud streamer with buying and holding. You start with $1,000. With the cloud strategy, 12 months later, you walk away with about $45,000 in pure profits. With buying and holding, you hold the coin for 2 years and you walk away with $4,600.
So with the cloud stream, you're making, well, almost 10 times more money.
Right, you're making 10 times more money and you're doing it in a fraction of the time. So you can compound your money faster. You're getting in when it streams to green and you get out when it flips to red. That's how you avoid these big downside moves and grow your money quicker.
And you actually get to keep your money.
Exactly. You're never going to reach your freedom number, and you certainly won't do it in 12 months if you keep giving back all your gains during these nasty corrections that are so common in the crypto market. Look, here's another one. Stellar. The cloud streamed to green during President Trump's first term. 5 months later, the cloud turned red. You buy when it streams to green, you sell when it turns red. You could have turned $1,000 into a little over $16,000.
Impressive, no doubt. But, you know, Tika, looking at that chart, I noticed something. I noticed that you're not really buying at the bottom or selling at the peak, are you?
You can't. It's impossible. John, if anyone tells you with a straight face that they've developed an approach that can get you in at the absolute bottom and get you out at the absolute peak, you better hold on to your wallet, because that person is either deluding themselves dangerously or trying to delude and fool you. I will tell you unequivocally, an approach that flawless does not exist. It will never exist. What this cloud stream does is it helps you grab the meat of the move. It tells you when to get in right before a potential big upswing when it streams to green. And once the coin starts to lose momentum, the cloud goes red, and it tells you to get out before a potential crash. Take a look at what happened with Stellar, for example. This is a great example. Had you held on to it, you would have given back all of your gains and actually lost money. Take a look. Using the crypto cloud stream, you'd make $15,000 in 5 months. 15 times your money. With buying and holding, you'd be in the coin for more than 2 years and you'd lose $250. Like, I hate asking stupid questions, but which of these sound better to you, John?
Tika, that's a stupid question. It's night and day. I see, I got your point. I get it.
Right. So here's the thing you need to understand about human psychology, and I deal with this all the time. When you're up 1,500% in a few weeks or a few months, and the coin is just melting up seemingly every day, you do not want to sell. It feels amazing to make money. And I know this from personal experience with my own money and then making recommendations.
Oh, yeah, I think we all know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. I get a ton of hate mail when I tell my readers to close a trade and pocket a big win. Now, why? Human psychology. They do not want to sell because they believe the coin will keep rising to the moon. That's human psychology. It's just the way we're all wired. We're wired to give back all the gains because more often than not, those types of explosive moves, John, they're temporary. So what ends up happening to most people is when the coin starts to drop, they hold on to the coin in the hope that it will recover and will go even higher. And they hold the coin and they ride it all the way back down. They give back all those life-changing gains and they walk away with nothing. Here's a painful example I want to share that I've been through myself. Look at Polygon. Before President Trump left office, the cloud streamed to green at the end of his first term. That was the sign it was about to skyrocket. Had you put $1,000 when the cloud streamed green and sold it when the cloud turned red, just a little over a year later, you would have walked away with almost, get this, John, $100,000. That's 100x. But guess what would have happened if you held onto the coin?
You'd have given it all back, right?
Almost all of it. Take a look at this roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It dropped just as fast. Anybody who held on to the coin, they went on a wild ride, T.
Yeah, and then some. So let's compare. With the crypto cloud stream, you make almost 100,000 in profits in a year. With buying and holding, you're sitting on this coin for almost 4 years. And for what? You walk away with less than $15,000. Now look, making 15 times your money in 4 years is insane. It's phenomenal. Only in the crypto world is that a weak return. But John, which one sounds better to you? 100 grand in a year or 15,000 waiting 4 years?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. So Tika, these are the types of temporary moves that you're expecting in 2025, these huge spikes, and then they're followed by a huge correction?
For 99% of the coins out there, yes, I'm expecting the same kind of moves, but again, with more velocity, with more extremeness, because of that money rotation I mentioned earlier. And there's no better way of capturing these moves than this type of momentum strategy that we've created. And John, again, I want to be clear. It's not just me saying it. A PhD from Cambridge University called, I'm going to butcher his name, Yves Lempereur, I believe, please forgive me if you're watching, sir, actually studied this method. He backtested this strategy all the way back to 1800 for commodities, currencies, stocks, and bonds. And you know what he found? He discovered that this strategy resulted in massive gains for all those different asset classes. He concluded that the fact that you can make a ton of money following this simple approach is, and I quote, one of the most statistically significant anomalies in financial markets. That's why all those traders I mentioned earlier were able to make millions of dollars. And here's the good news. Our testing has shown us that this also works in the crypto market. So John, we have more than 2 centuries of data suggesting that the approach behind our crypto cloud stream could be among the best ways to capture these short-term moves.
Well, yeah, I mean, based on everything you showed us so far, it does seem like you've developed something really special here, Tika. But what exactly is behind these clouds? What makes it go from red to green and green to red, vice versa?
It's all about momentum. The cloud is powered by a powerful mathematical process that automatically calculates if the coin is accelerating or if it's slowing down. John, imagine you're a pilot. If you want to take a flight, right, the plane has to hit a certain speed in order to get off the ground, correct?
Yes, correct.
So it's the same thing with these coins. So this mathematical process tells us when the acceleration of the coin has hit that takeoff threshold. So when the cloud turns green, that's when that process is kicking in. It's the same thing for landing. To land the plane, you need to slow down and begin your descent. So the cloud turns red when the coin hits that de-acceleration threshold, telling us that the coin is slowing down, but warning us before a potential collapse. This is what allows us to grab the meat of these moves. We won't get the whole move, but we'll get a big chunk of it. Take a look at this price action in Litecoin going back to 2017. You're going to see lots of crazy ups and downs. But the cloud would have helped you grab the meat of those moves while avoiding those nasty losses where you give back all those life-changing gains. I will tell you right now, if you do not have this kind of approach to guide your trading in 2025, you will have to have the luck of the Irish to make money from these fast-moving coins. And luck is never a good strategy. Does that make sense, John?
I love that saying, by the way. Luck is not a good strategy. So here's what you're doing. You're grabbing most of the big upswings, and then you're avoiding those nasty corrections, as you say.
That's exactly what we're doing. That's the goal, and that's what this approach was designed to do. I took everything I learned from the past in order to be ready for this next stage of this melt-up bull market.
And here's what's exciting. You said that your crypto cloudstream is flashing a buy right now, right?
It is. The cloud just streamed to green for 3 coins. That means they're ready to take off. That's why we have no time to waste, John. The inauguration is right around the corner. And like I said earlier, President Trump, he's not a man to waste time. Right after the inauguration ceremony on January 20th, I believe he's going to go right to the White House and sign this crypto executive order. I believe it will be there on his desk waiting for his signature. And friends, let me tell you this. If you wait until you read about it in the headlines, it will be too late. That's why I just put together a brand new report with all the details on these 3 coins. It's called the top 3 crypto trades for the coming Trump boom. And I'm making this report available to everyone here tonight.
That sounds fantastic. And as a matter of fact, we're going to cover that report and those coins that you're recommending in just a moment. And Tika, I know you also want to give away the name of that other coin that you believe could be the next $1 trillion coin. But first, can you explain exactly what this executive order is going to do? Now, you said earlier that it's going to be a game changer. So what is the big deal?
Well, John, even before the inauguration, President Trump already began to execute on some of the things he promised during his campaign, like appointing a new pro-crypto head of the SEC. He recently appointed Paul Atkins, who's been, get this, co-chairman of the Digital Chambers Token Alliance since 2017. So for the first time ever, we're going to have a pro-crypto SEC. So instead of waging war on the industry, the SEC is going to help develop it. And that's just the beginning of President Trump's crypto revolution. The real game changer will be his executive order. You see, I believe with the stroke of a pen, President Trump will establish America's first ever crypto advisory council. His transition team is already discussing how to structure that council and who the members will be. For example, the Wall Street Journal recently confirmed that the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, recently met with President Trump. Will most likely be one of the members. Pro-crypto venture capitalist Mark Andreessen will probably be another one. Certainly David Sachs, who President Trump has already nominated as his crypto czar, seems like a shoo-in. Executives from other big crypto firms like Ripple and Kraken will likely be members as well.
So this council will be it'll be filled with experts who are pro-crypto, right?
Not only pro-crypto, these are the people who essentially run the crypto industry in the United States. And I believe that they will be designing President Trump's entire digital asset policy. They will work with Congress on crypto legislation, and they'll help President Trump establish the Bitcoin reserve he promised. John, Jim Cramer recently interviewed President Trump on CNBC, and he asked him if our government would really create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Listen to President Trump's answer. He said, "Yes, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto." Now, he's already been elected, John. He doesn't have to keep his promises with crypto, and yet he has not backed away on any of his commitment towards crypto.
What you're saying, and passionately, is that it's happening. It's happening, and you believe that the U.S. government could begin to buy Bitcoin on day one.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and I'm not the only one who sees this coming. Jack Mallers, founder and CEO of Strike, also believes this could happen on January 20th. He said there's potential to use a day one executive order to purchase Bitcoin. John, once President Trump signs that executive order, I just want you to really imagine this with me, okay? Really think about this. He will officially put the entire power of the the whole US government behind cryptos. And I predict that's going to accelerate crypto adoption at a level that we have never, ever seen before. This is a true paradigm shift in policy because the US government has never supported the crypto market. At best, they were indifferent to it. The Biden administration was actually waging an active war against the industry. John, what do you think is going to happen to some of these smaller coins when suddenly everything changes for the crypto industry?
Well, come on. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to know that they'll likely skyrocket, right? It's the only logical conclusion.
It's already happening. After President Trump's win, my crypto cloud streamed green on a number of coins that have already begun to skyrocket. Take a look. This past November, the cloud streamed green for HBAR, leading to gains of 150%. Streamed green for Ripple, leading to gains of 320%. It streamed green for Stellar, leading to gains of 352%. John, these are gains just for 1 month, November. These were some of the fastest coins in the market, and our crypto cloud streamed to green on all of them, just like it was designed to do. And right now, it's streaming green on 3 new coins. And I believe this is just the beginning of a buying frenzy of a proportion that we have never, ever seen before. Because before the ink of President Trump's executive order is dry, I believe we could see these coins I'm recommending move much, much, much higher and much faster than anything we've seen before. That's why I said earlier that this could be even bigger than the buying frenzy we saw in 2017, when my readers had a chance to turn a handful of $1,000 investments into truly generational life-changing wealth.
Yeah, I remember how that bull market during President Trump's first term changed many of your readers' lives. I know that because you were flooded with emails from your readers telling us how they took a small stake, and turned it into $330,000, $400,000, $1.2 million, even $2.5 million. So I gotta say, it's really exciting that you're expecting similar this time.
It's very exciting. But remember, John, and friends at home, this is key. Many of these giant moves are not going to be long lasting, which is why it is critical to know when to get in and when to get out. You have to make that pivot in your crypto investments. Friends, if you want a chance to reach your freedom number in the next 12 months, you must know how to time these trades, how to capture these explosive moves. And look, if you don't want to work with me, I get it. That's your decision to make. If you don't want to use my crypto cloud stream, of course, that's your choice, and I respect that. But you must have some type of timing indicator for your own trading. Because if you don't, if you're just buying these coins, just holding on to them and hoping they keep going higher, I believe you're going to give back almost all of your gains, and you're going to walk away from the biggest bull market in human history, and nothing will have changed for you financially. You'll be empty-handed. So instead of potentially reaching your freedom number 12 months from now, you walk away with nothing, exactly the same that you've already had, and you will spend the rest of your life regretting it. I'm talking about the kind of regret that chases you to your deathbed.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody here tonight is going to want to miss out on this opportunity, so let's not waste any more time. Folks, you heard Tika. His crypto cloud is streaming green on 3 coins that have begun to move faster than most of the other coins out there. You must act now, before President Trump signs that executive order, because after that, it could be too late. That's why Tika put all of the details of these trades inside a special report. It's called The Top 3 Crypto Trades for the Coming Trump Boom. And here's the good news. This report is just the beginning of a much bigger project Tika is launching today. It's called Big T's Crypto Trader. It's a brand new research service that's 100% focused on this new cloudstream approach. In fact, this is Tika's only research service that focuses on these types of short-term opportunities. Tika, you don't cover this kind of short-term trading in your other research, do you?
No, I don't, and I won't. And that's very important because unlike my other research services, this is not buying and holding. I want to make that very clear. This is a much more fast-paced approach because my team and I will be using our cloudstream method to get in and out of the most explosive cryptos out there, regardless of what the underlying project does. And like I mentioned earlier, some of those trades might be a few days, some might be a few weeks, some might even be a few months. It really all depends on the momentum of the coins being selected. And right now, my crypto cloud is streaming green on 3 coins. It's telling me very clearly they're ready to take off.
Boy, that is exciting. That is exciting. Folks, when you become a charter member today, you'll immediately gain access to this report with the first 3 trade recommendations. And that's really just the beginning. Tika and his team will be monitoring the CloudStream every day as it sifts among thousands of coins. And whenever they see the cloud streaming green, they'll do their own analysis to double check that the coin has potential. And then they'll send you an alert telling you it's time to get in. As a member, you can expect 2 to 4 new trade recommendations a month. Remember, during President Trump's first term, this method would have given you a chance to turn $1,000 into as much as more than $25,000 in 10 weeks, more than $125,000 in just 6 months, and almost $300,000 in 10 months. Now, folks, remember what Tika said before. We can't guarantee that you'll see those same types of gains. We all know that investment carries some level of risk and that cryptos can be very volatile. But with that being said, the great thing about Tika's strategy is that just a handful of $1,000 investments could give you a chance to reach your freedom number. When you join Big T's Crypto Trader, you'll not only get access to this brand new report with his top 3 new crypto trades for this coming Trump boom, but you'll also get access to educational videos, the Crypto Trader Manifesto, Tika's model portfolio, and ongoing buy and sell alerts from the most trusted man in crypto. Now, because of all these benefits, this service is not cheap. The retail price for 1 year is $5,000. And I know, that's a lot of money. But think of it this way. When you consider that just one of these trades during President Trump's first term would have turned $1,000 into more than $25,000 in a few weeks, well, that listed price is a no-brainer. But here's the really good news for you. Since this is a brand new research service Tika is launching today, you can claim a huge charter membership discount. We're lowering the price all the way down to $1,750, but this special charter membership discount is only available until January 15th at midnight. So please do not delay because the price will increase after that.
Well, hold on just 1 second, John. I apologize for interrupting. I really want to make this a no-brainer for the folks that have joined us here tonight. So everyone who becomes a charter member tonight will also get a second year of access completely free of charge. So you get not just 1, but 2 years of Big T's Crypto Trader. But again, this offer is only available until Wednesday, January 15th at midnight. So friends, if you want a chance to turn a handful of $1,000 investments into the kind of gains I've showed you here tonight, you have no choice. What I mean is that you have to act before President Trump's inauguration. So I want to reward people who are serious about this opportunity, people who understand that we just don't have the time to sit around and procrastinate.
Yeah, we just don't have the time, and it's fantastic news. Folks, you heard Tika. He's really making this a no-brainer for you. Right now, there should be a button that says Join Now. Go ahead, click on that button. You'll be amongst the first ones to get your hands on this brand new research, and you'll have the chance to get ahead of this coming Trump melt-up. Remember, as Tika said earlier, 99% of the coins out there are not good buy and hold investments. That means, yes, they could explode higher in 2025, but Tika's predicting these moves will be temporary. You must know when to get in and, just as importantly, when to get out. That's where Tika's Crypto Cloud Streamer approach comes in. And you can get started today with the first 3 trade recommendations that are streaming green right now. When you click on that button, it's going to take you to a separate page where you can see all the details of this offer one last time before you join. And by the way, don't worry. You get to keep watching this broadcast and our Q&A because when you click on that button, it opens up into a separate window. So you're not going to miss a thing. And if you're a complete crypto newbie, I don't want you to worry about that either. Like I briefly mentioned before, Tika has prepared a video course, and it walks you through everything and makes it super easy, so you can get started right away. So Tika, I just want to confirm something with you since we're here at this moment. I know that you could sell this course for thousands of dollars, but anyone who joins today will get access to the video course completely free. I just want to confirm that's right.
Yep, that's 100% correct. Here's a promise I make. With this video course, everyone, even folks who have never touched cryptocurrencies before, everyone will be able to buy these coins that I'm recommending, and they'll be able to do it very quickly and very easily. That's a promise I make to you, friends. Most of my readers that joined me for the first time knew nothing about crypto. The reason why they were able to get started quickly, regardless of their experience, is because I had my team set up an entire beginner crypto master course. It's called the Crypto Compass, and I'm including it for free. It covers everything: how to set up an account, how to select the right broker, how to buy and sell crypto. And the videos are short. They're 5 minutes. They're very super easy to use. And again, I want to be very clear here. Something that I prided myself on from the very beginning is I've never been the kind of person who writes a report, pats you on the back and says, okay, pal, good luck. That's not how I run my business. You see, once you get your hands on this special report with the first 3 trade recommendations, you're going to gain access to my crypto course, which again is completely free. You'll also gain access to our Crypto Trader Manifesto, which is a starting guide that will cover all the basics of our cloud strategy approach.
That's awesome stuff, Tika. It really is. You know, I've met many of your subscribers at conferences, really good people. I'm talking about grandparents, stay-at-home parents, farmers, grade school teachers, just everyday people from all walks of life that have zero technical background. And I can tell you that thanks to your course, they were able to get started with these really easy to use step-by-step videos. So folks, even if you're a newbie, what I'm saying is don't let that stop you. Don't wait. Click on the button now and get the name of Tika's 3 coins for this coming Trump boom. Now look, if you prefer to talk to someone, you can always call on the phone. There's the number on your screen right now. It's 954-388-0776. That's what it's there for, but I have to warn you, every time we do an event like this with Tika, the lines get super busy, and we expect that to be the case now. So you might be on hold for a little while. So I recommend that you click on that button. That is the fastest and the easiest way for you to join and get your hands on Tika's research. Now, Tika, we both know that sometimes people like to procrastinate, right? Or they want to wait before they make a decision. What would you say to someone who's watching this right now and thinking, that all sounds good, but you know what? I need a little more time to think about it.
I'd say it's completely understandable. I get it. I would say I wish you could just take some time, but this is not buying and holding. Every moment counts. You've seen how fast these moves can happen. Just this past November alone, in 1 month, my cloud streamed green on 3 of the top performing coins. They jumped 150%, 320%, 352% in a month. Normally, you'd have to wait decades to see those types of gains in any other asset class. My point is, I'm talking about the fastest moving assets in the history of financial markets. These coins will not wait for anyone. They are already on the move. So the more you wait, the more money you might end up leaving on the table. I believe you just have a short window to act between now and President Trump's inauguration. After that, after President Trump signs that executive order, we could see insane levels of hype. And I believe that opportunity could be gone forever. That means you might never see an opportunity like this again. Remember, we're talking about the inauguration of America's first ever pro-crypto president. President Trump will only sign that executive order one time. That means you only have one shot here. And John, that's why I said earlier that the key is to get in now before the inauguration, before the president triggers this melt-up phase.
Folks, remember, Tika's readers already had multiple chances to turn a small stake into massive 6 and even 7-figure nest eggs. As a matter of fact, check out these emails that Tika got. Dora S. wrote, My portfolio is over 7 figures now, and I am ready for the bull run to capitalize on the returns from my retirement in the next few years. Here's another one from Dave. Dave says, we have netted $323,700 so far. We paid off our mortgage. We went on a big family vacation to Scotland. The current coins that we own are valued at $213,049. We'll be able to retire without financial worries. We can't thank you enough. And here's one from Scott. Tika, as a result of your recommendations, I profited over $1 million. Incredible. I am retiring in 6 months and am a believer that you have helped me achieve financial freedom. Saying thank you is not enough. Folks, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of empty promises in this industry. A lot of so-called experts promising you all sorts of crazy gains just to sell you a subscription. I'm sure you've noticed that. But Tika is one of the few I know that actually delivers. He's done it again and again and again. These are real results reported directly from Tika's readers, and they are mind-blowing. And now Tika believes this coming Trump bull market could be even more explosive. So click on that button to get started because, well, right now we're going to start with our Q&A. And what I want to do right now is I want to grab an iPad here from our producer. Thank you very much. And Tika's going to answer some of the questions. And in just a moment, he's also going to reveal the name and the ticker symbol of that coin that he believes could be the next $1 trillion coin. Tika, I know this is one of your favorite parts here. Are you ready to answer some questions?
100%. Let's do it.
All right, Tika, here's the first one. Tika, you said this Trump boom could last 12 months only. Why? What happens after that?
Well, look, John, let me be the first to say I hope it lasts longer than 12 months, but hope is not a good strategy. So let me explain why I think it's going to be a highly compressed bull market. Last year, we had the Bitcoin halving, which is when the new issuance of Bitcoin gets cut in half. Historically speaking, the bull market tends to last about 18 months on average from the halving date. So if that historical pattern holds, this bull market could end by the end of 2025. What that means is that we've got a compressed short window of opportunity. What it means is that the stars are aligned for the biggest bull run in crypto ever. I can tell you right now, I've never been this bullish about any asset class ever in my entire career. Why? Because President Trump is about to unleash a level of capital in the crypto market at a scale it has never ever seen before. John, think about this just for a second. If I asked you to run a marathon wearing a 100-pound weight vest, how much progress do you think you got to make?
Right out of the gate, not very far.
Exactly. Now, that's the exact position that the SEC has put the crypto industry in for the last 4+ years. So instead of having common sense regulation guided by growing the industry, the SEC has just waged an outright war against crypto. But now everything is about to change because President Trump just appointed crypto backer Paul Atkins as new head of the SEC. What does that mean? It means the president has ripped that 100-pound weight off the crypto industry's back. With this new crypto-friendly SEC, I predict that we will see more innovation in the crypto space, including new ETFs that will accelerate the adoption of all kinds of different coins at a scale that we have never, ever seen before. And it's not just the SEC. President Trump has surrounded himself with pro-crypto advisors, Elon Musk, David Sachs, Howard Lutnick. Many cabinet members are also strong supporters of crypto and have publicly disclosed their crypto holdings. I'm talking about VP J.D. Vance, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Health and Human Services, the Director of National Intelligence. They're all pro-crypto. Remember, I believe President Trump will also establish America's first ever crypto council on his first day in office. On top of that, it's estimated that almost 300 pro-crypto lawmakers will take seats in the House and the Senate. John, this will be the most pro-crypto Congress ever. And if that wasn't enough, the big players on Wall Street are now openly telling their clients to put money in Bitcoin. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, recently said a portfolio allocation of up to 2% is reasonable for investors who wish to hold Bitcoin. This is the first time they're openly recommending a crypto allocation to their clients. John, BlackRock has $11.5 trillion under management. It's the biggest asset manager in the world. Do the math. 2% of that is $230 billion. And that's just one financial institution. Now that BlackRock is doing that, my prediction is all of Wall Street will do the same, making a Bitcoin allocation the new standard across all portfolios. So, John, can you see how in 2025 the stars are aligned like never, ever before?
I absolutely can. I mean, it does seem like the perfect scenario.
That's why I believe it will be the biggest bull market crypto has ever seen. We are about to see the institutionalization of this asset class in a way and at a level that we've never seen before. We're talking about potentially trillions of dollars, that's with a T, flowing into this space like never before. So I expect these short-term explosive moves to become not only more frequent, more intense because of the amount of money that will be coming in. The gains, I believe, could be ridiculous in the coming months. So friends, let me say this again. I don't think we'll ever see a more perfect scenario for higher prices. This could be your only chance to reach your freedom number, starting with a handful of $1,000 investments. And that's why I'm pounding the table that you must act now before President Trump signs that executive order.
Folks, you heard Tika. Do not wait. Go ahead, click on that button to get started because January 20th is just around the corner. All right, Tika, here's another question for you. Tika, you said earlier that you hired a pro trader to help you with this project. Who is he? And what will be his role?
It's a great question because this guy will be my right-hand man for Big T's crypto trader. John, like we discussed before, my approach has always been doing deep research, finding projects to buy and hold that I think have massive long-term value. And I've had incredible success doing that. But the reality is that today we have more than 2 million coins out there. But I estimate far less than 1% of them have great long-term value. So there's really only a few coins I would recommend anyone buy and hold, and that's what I do in my other services. However, doesn't mean that you can't trade and make a fortune from the other 99%. You just have to have a different approach to trading those coins because they'll normally have these huge boom and bust cycles. So you have to know how to tame those trades. And that's not my core competency. And that's where this trader I hired comes in. John, remember when I mentioned earlier that some of the best traders on the planet have used this approach in stocks and commodities?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you mentioned a few names of traders who are able to turn a small account into millions. I remember one guy you mentioned started with $5,000 and is now worth $100 million.
Right. All those traders were following the same type of momentum strategy. This trader I just hired is a specialist in this method. Now, it wasn't easy to hire him. Most of the successful traders out there, they don't like publicity. They make a ton of money sitting at home. What they really want to do is just sit in front of their computer all day trading and making money. So the only way that he would agree to help me on this project is that he wanted to stay anonymous. So if I were to mention his name here, I'd be violating the terms of our agreement. And I can't afford to do that because you have no idea how hard it is to find someone who's a pro in this type of trading. Like I mentioned before, this guy has already made well over 6 figures testing the strategy in the stock and crypto markets. And now that he's a part of my team, he's going to be sitting in front of his computer all day long looking for these short-term opportunities for my readers. And because of President Trump's executive order, I'm expecting a ton of trading activity in the coming days.
That is fantastic. Tika, I know that we briefly touched on this before, but can you talk about the differences among all your 3 crypto services? You've got Big T's Inside Crypto, Big T's Crypto Income, and now Big T's Crypto Trader. So what sets these apart from each other?
Well, they are very different. There might be some overlap from time to time, but that's rare and not much. So Inside Crypto is my flagship cryptocurrency newsletter. In that newsletter, what I focus on are very early stage projects that I think can grow into multi-billion-dollar massive projects. It's a buy and hold approach focusing on capital gains. And I've got a great track record in that area. I've had more than 27, now 28 ideas that have moved up more than 1,000%. It's very hard to do, but we've been very good at that. Crypto income is also a buy and hold approach, but it's different. We focus on coins that come with automatic payouts that have these really high rates of return that is focused on creating income for crypto. So let me make something clear. There's nothing wrong with the buy and hold approach. I've changed the lives of thousands of my readers with that approach. Why? Because me and my team are experts in finding those types of coins. But as I mentioned before, the majority of crypto coins, especially in this next cycle of the bull market, will not have long-term value. Most of those coins will only offer short-term trading opportunities. And since that's not been my focus in the past, I knew I needed to launch a new service, Big T's Crypto Trader, to take advantage of those short-term moves. It's my only research service where we'll be using this systematic approach of getting in and out of coins, primarily based on momentum. So friends, it's critically important that you understand that these three services are radically different from each other. We don't talk about the crypto cloud trading streaming approach in Inside Crypto or crypto income at all. These short-term recommendations are exclusive to my crypto trader subscribers.
So I'm wondering this, Tika, does that mean that this new service will open up a lot more opportunities for your readers?
Oh, it's going to open up the rest of the market to my readers. It's an incredible complement to my buy and hold services, because while you're waiting for your long-term investments to pay off, you could be pulling massive profits out of these short-term trading opportunities. And so this way, you really have the best of both worlds. You've got a piece of the future with these protocols that I think are going to change the world. And then you have these short-term opportunities where you can make massive life-changing gains in a really rapid series, in a rapid time frame that you can't ordinarily do.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. My thoughts exactly. Folks, if you haven't done so, click on that button to get started, because Tika's crypto cloud system is flashing buy on 3 new coins. You'll find all the details inside your special report. The top 3 crypto trades for the coming Trump boom. Remember, the crypto market is open 24/7, and what that means is that moments from now, you could be in on these trades. All right, Tika, here's the next question. Tika, once we open the trade, do I need to be sitting in front of my computer to monitor the trade?
No, the short answer is no, because this is not day trading. We're not buying and holding for a few minutes. We're also not buying and holding for a few years. This isn't that kind of trading. In most cases, we expect to hold the trades from a few days, a few weeks, to a few months. So there's no need to be sitting in front of your computer all day. When it's time to open a trade, we will send you a trade alert with all the details. When it's time to close the trade, we'll send you another email. It's that simple. You do not have to sit in front of the screen. You simply read our trade alert and just make a decision if you want to participate.
Folks, before we continue with our Q&A, I just want to remind you that this isn't Tika's first rodeo, as he mentioned before. Even though this is a new strategy, Tika has already given his readers multiple chances to reach their freedom number. And I say that because I've seen countless emails from his readers. I want to share a few more. For example, look at this email from Tim. Tim said, Tika, I've been following your recommendations for a little over 2 years, and in that time frame, I gained about 100x. I appreciate your help. 100x in just 2 years. And that's without the Trump melt-up that Tika is predicting. Where else will you find a 100x return in 2 years? Nowhere. Here's another email from another happy subscriber. My portfolio now is around $550,000. Just waiting for the next bull market to really take off. Looking forward to more good advice. Thanks and best wishes. That's from Bill D. Here's another note. This one is from Jill C. And I love this one. Jill said, I used a $200 position size across the board. Through your recommendations, I was able to pay a down payment on an investment property. Coins like BNB, Link, and so many others really made great returns for me. I can tell you without a doubt or a moment's hesitation that without your wisdom on crypto investing, I would be in a dire financial place in my life. There is no one I trust and believe more in the world of finance than you. Think about that, folks. $200 in each position, and it changed her life. It's amazing, isn't it? Folks, you could be the next success story. By next year, you could be the one sending Tika one of these emails telling him how fast you reached your freedom number. But that will only be possible if you act now, before President Trump's inauguration. So go ahead, click on that button to get started because we're almost running out of time. All right, Tika, here's the next question. Tika, if I subscribe to Big T's Crypto Trader and change my mind later, can I get a refund?
I want to be crystal clear on this point. I'm not looking for tire kickers. I'm looking for people who are serious about taking advantage of this coming Trump boom. I could offer a refund, but if I did, I'm sure some people would just sign up to get the names of these 3 coins we're recommending and cancel right after that. And that would be deeply unfair to my serious readers that I know are interested in having a long-term relationship with me and my firm. Now look, if that rubs you the wrong way, I get it, no problem. We can part as friends. Again, I am here to make a long-term commitment to you through the good times and the bad. Markets are volatile. I have never, ever abandoned my readers, no matter what the markets were doing. My core readers know that, and they are more than happy to commit to me because they know I will be always committed to them. That's why I'm here tonight wearing this brace when most people would have canceled. Why? Because I'm committed to doing everything in my power to put you in a position to win, to change your life. If you are not interested in that type of working relationship, it probably just means that you're not the kind of person I'm looking to be aligned to. Like I said, I'm looking for serious subscribers, people that understand we're facing an explosive opportunity now that the very first pro-crypto president in history is about to take power. My goal and vision for you is for us to make money together year after year after year after year, exactly the way that I've been doing since 2016. But instead of this time, instead of doing it through buying and holding, we'll be targeting much faster gains through my crypto cloudstream approach.
Well, you certainly are a man of your word, and I have to say that is extremely fair. Folks, remember, as a member of Big T's Crypto Trader, you can expect 2 to 4 new trade recommendations a month. You can see everything you get on your screen. And remember, Tika is offering a special discount for charter members. This discount is only available for a limited time, so go ahead, click on that button below to get started. You know, Tika, we are running out of time. We only have time for one more question, so here you go. Here it is. How much do you recommend that we invest in each of those 3 coins?
It's the beauty about where we are in this market. You just heard from one of my readers who started with as little as $200, and she was able to change her life. So if you're on the smaller side, $200 to $400 per idea. If you're a bigger player, $500 to $1,000 per idea is plenty. Here's the key. You take a uniform amount of money and you put them in each of these investments. Now, why do I say we use the same amount of money in each idea? This way, you don't want to over-own a loser and you don't want to under-own a winner. That's the key. That's how we deal with the insane volatility inherent in this space. We use small, uniform-sized positions across a portfolio. If you can do that, you put yourself in a position to change your life forever, but without putting your current lifestyle at risk. And that, my friends, is the key to how you change your life without blowing it up.
All right, Tika, before we wrap this up, you promised that you'd give away a recommendation today. So here we are. What is the name and the ticker symbol of that coin that you believe could be the next $1 trillion coin?
Well, this is a coin I've recommended to my readers before. John, remember when I said earlier that you'll want to rotate your money into the fastest moving coins during this new bull market?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You said that this rotation will be critical for this coming Trump boom cycle. Like you said earlier, it's all about betting your money on the fastest horse.
Well, exactly. So we've already seen a preview of that with Ethereum. So while Bitcoin has exploded higher, Ethereum was left behind, and it's only now beginning to catch up to Bitcoin. I even sent out an alert to my readers back in October telling them to reallocate some money from Ethereum to Solana. You can see that alert on the screen. And here's the quote. While my thesis on Ethereum hasn't changed, I now believe Solana will be the faster horse in the race during this bull cycle. Here's what happened right after I sent that email. As you can see here, after President Trump's election, both coins jumped higher, but Solana beat Ethereum by almost 2-1. Like I said earlier, it's all about investing in the fastest horse. I believe this outperformance will continue. So the coin I want to recommend today is Solana. The ticker symbol is SOL. I believe it has the potential to be the next coin to reach $1 trillion market cap.
Well, to be honest with you, Tika, I'm not surprised that you're recommending Solana. About a year ago, you recommended it to your readers in one of these strategy sessions that we had together. And as a matter of fact, I actually want to share with everyone what you said back in January of 2024. Folks, I want you to take a look at this. This is what Tika said. Solana is one of the most active blockchains in the world, and it's a project that allows for transactions to be executed very fast and very cheaply. In fact, cost per transaction is virtually zero. That's why companies like Visa and Shopify have partnered with Solana to execute payments on their blockchain. And when it comes to digital payments, it doesn't get any bigger than Visa. They have more than 4 billion credit cards around the world, processing more than $14 trillion in volume. So the fact that Visa has partnered with this blockchain should tell you everything you need to know. I'm expecting the adoption of Solana to go much higher. Well, Tika, less than 3 months later, anyone who listened to you had already more than doubled their money. And now that, of course, President Trump is in power, Solana has recently made new highs. So I want to ask you this, just one last time. You don't think it's too late to get in?
Oh, no, I think Solana has much more upside. Some people are even calling it the next Ethereum. It can process transactions at a much faster rate than Ethereum. It's been gaining a lot of attention as an alternative way to develop decentralized applications, tokens, payment services. Even President Trump's crypto czar, David Sachs, has already invested in it. In December 2023, during his podcast, he said, and I quote, "Still holding bags of Solana and was a very happy camper." So here we have one of the president's main crypto advisors singing the praises of Solana. And like I mentioned earlier, I believe the new SEC under President Trump will lead to more crypto innovations, including new ETFs. And I predict one of those will be a Solana ETF, which will help drive even more money into the coin. So even though the coin has already doubled since I recommended it a year ago, I believe there is an enormous amount of upside potential. So if Solana were to become $1 trillion coin, it puts the price at over $2,000 a coin. That's about a 10x from here. So Solana, though, let me be clear, it's a buy and hold recommendation. Friends, if you want to potentially make even bigger gains, but much faster, you'll want to join Big T's Crypto Trader, because that's the only place where you'll get access to my cloud method. It will have you streaming in and out of what I believe will be the most incredible bull market we have ever seen in crypto. We'll be using my cloud approach to target the fastest coins out there with the goal of getting you to your freedom number in 2025.
Boy, that sounds good. That sounds good to me. So folks, I'll tell you what, write that down. The name is Solana and the ticker is SOL. There you go. He just gave it to you. Gave it to you for free. I highly recommend that you click on that button to get your hands on your special report, the top 3 crypto trades for the coming Trump boom. You know, Tika, I got to say, we've covered a lot of ground today. I want to thank you for your time and all your information. You've been very generous with it, but I got to say this. It says a lot about you that you showed up today you're not feeling your best. And it says a lot about this message that you have and about the people that are watching tonight. So thank you so much for being here. Do you have any last words for everybody?
Yeah, first thing I want to say, John, thank you for schlepping all the way out from California. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be here with you. Friends, I want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. So I want to speak very candidly with you. I've hit my freedom number. I don't need to do these webinars anymore. I don't need to run a business anymore. When I fractured my neck, everybody thought it was insane that I said, no, we got to find a way to do this webinar. So why? Is it so I can make some more money selling newsletters? No, I got plenty of money. I own plenty of Bitcoin. I never have to worry about money ever again in my life. There are some people in this world that are called to give back by, building wells in Africa or giving back in their local communities at food banks and things like that. And I certainly donate money to those causes, but that's not been my calling. My calling has been helping guide the everyday person through the volatility of the crypto market to use uniform position sizes in order to transform their financial lives from this incredible new market. For the last 10 years, traditional Wall Street, until recently, has told us that we were stupid to buy these assets. Even traditional money managers like Warren Buffett still call us dumb for buying these assets. And yet these are the best performing assets in the world. And so, back in 2016, I had an epiphany that these assets were finally going to enable people that were not yet rich to become rich without putting their current lifestyle at risk. And that is still true. And so long as that is still true, I will continue doing everything in my power to put you in a position to win. Why? Because I know what it's like to not have financial freedom. I grew up in the UK in the 1970s and the 1980s. I remember there not being food in the fridge. I remember the rolling blackouts. I remember the inflation that was just ravaging my parents. I remember growing up in the foster care system, not having money. I remember being told to just deal with what you had and that you will never have anything more than that. And I rebelled against that. And crypto is our rebellion against Wall Street telling us that we've got to wait 10, 20, 30 years in order to get a lifestyle or to have a dignified retirement. If you bought the S&P 500 in the year 2000 and you just held it even to now, you know what your average return would have been? About 5% a year. That's it. Friends, the old way of making money is broken. It's broken. If you do not have a pathway into this asset class and someone guiding you, or at least your own mental framework for how to take advantage of this asset class, you will never, ever get the financial life that you want, because the stock market can't give it to you anymore. It's not like 30 years ago when the average PE was 12, or 20 years before that when the average PE was 6. The average P in the S&P 500 on a trailing average is 30 times earnings. You can't get rich from the market anymore. So you have to do something different. Friends, I have devoted my professional life for the last 10 years to become an expert in this space. Do we get it right every single time? No. That's why we have risk management. That's why we have position sizing. And no matter what happens, I will never run away from you. I will never hide under my desk. I will always greet you in this camera and say, we got this right, we got this wrong, this is what we're going to do to fix it, and this is how we move forward. And I will do that no matter what. Whether I've got a broken neck or a bad cold, it doesn't matter. As long as somebody will flip on a computer camera for me and hold it in front of me, I'll be there to deliver that message to you. Because friends, this opportunity that we have in front of us, it won't last forever. It can't last forever. This might be the last opportunity, the last bull market we have to radically change your financial life in 12 months or less. That is the opportunity in front of us. So I'm going to ask you unequivocally, come join me. Take this next step with me, and let's just rip as much profit as we can out of this outlandish bull market that lies in front of us. Friends, I want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It is a pleasure to be working with you, for you. Let's continue this relationship together. And as I always like to say, I want you to always remember, let the game come to you.
So that concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. You can find the show notes on www.tikatiwari.com. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with others, talk about it on social media, and leave a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss another episode. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.